Hi, Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising. This is going to be your general mini cross reading for April 2021. I have with me today the Radiant White deck. We will be clarifying with La Vida Sabila, but you'll get an opportunity to wrap the reading up with a Greek mythology card and also an angel answer card. I'm going to be using the Roman names for those Greek gods instead of the Greek god names. The Romans have the Greeks have too many gods. They're just so confusing. And so I'm trying to get the majority of my videos done. I go for my second COVID shot on Tuesday, so I might be down for a few days. We shall see. Some people didn't get sick, others have, so you just never know. So with that being said, let me go ahead and turn the camera around so we can get started. I have done some shuffling and meditation on your sign and glyph. I don't want to yank down my new light that I got, y'all. Finally got a new light to make it better up in here. And I'm going to put a bit more. Oh, that card wants to present itself. At the heart of the matter. Okay. And what we know to be true. What we stand on. The cards are pretty much dealing themselves. So let's see here. So obviously some of you have completed something, you finalized something, you finished something, you've come to the end of a cycle, and which is always a good thing. The World card is the last card of the major arcana in the deck, and then attached here with this 8 of Wands. So we shall see what that is. So let's get the rest of the cards down. The near or distant past. The Moon card. Wow. Reason why I say it that way is because this card just came out in the same position for Gemini. So I always suggest that you look at your moon and rising signs as well, because the sun, sometimes the sun sign story doesn't resonate. But also look at the sun, moon, and rising signs of those people who are in your lives, your friends, your family, your loved ones, yada, yada, yada. This is a general reading, and the messages will not resonate with everyone. That does require a personal reading. And we can better look at your situation for you with the personal reading. And if you're interested in a reading, you can click on the eye that will show up right there in the little right-hand corner, and that'll take you directly over to the website. When you get there, look for tarot consultations on the menu. I think there's a click arrow, and it'll pull down all of the readings that I offer. So with that being said, let's get to the unknown factor, the Page of Swords. So some kind of news coming in. Whatever the news is, for some of you, it completes a cycle and then things really begin to move. For others of you, you're right about to complete the cycle, things begin to move, but then here's this Moon card. Okay, and I don't know if this Moon card is a timing and telling us that when I don't know, let me look at my Moon app on here. If I can see where the full moon is. Right now we have a waxing crescent in Gemini. Let me see. The first quarter moon, the waxing gibbous. I think the full moon has already passed us. I'm not exactly sure. The full moon is on the 28th. Okay, it's on the 28th. And it will be a full moon in Libra, which interestingly is what, I don't know if you can see it. I can't see it. That card represents, because my app is in the way. Okay, so there we have it. And then finally, the card, the near or distant future, Aquarius. The King of Swords. This message definitely has something either to do with him. I would say it would come from him if the cards were like this, but they're not. The message is about him. Okay? Wow, that's interesting. So I have 2 major arcana, 2 swords, and a wands card. What is over the whole reading? The 5 of cups. Now, I don't know if for some of you, you are in this energy of looking over the past and lamenting or crying or having sorrow and regrets over something that has occurred in the past. Obviously, it's something that you feel very, I don't know, emotionally attached to, or has stirred your emotions to such an extent. But this card always says that this is like the Two of Cups in disguise. You see the way that glow is around him? This card says, don't hide your light under a bushel. Take the cloak off, quit crying over the spilled milk, and turn around, because there's something else here for you. Now, that Two of Cups could just mean you're going to regain your own emotional balance, but it could also represent some new kind of partnership or romance or friendship coming in, okay? It's not always about love. Underneath that, we see the Fool card, a fresh new start. So, whatever this is, I wouldn't give it, stop feeling sorry for yourself is what I'm trying to say. I know that can be easier said than done, if, particularly since I don't really know the situation. First thing I'm going to do, I can't look at these two court cards, so that only leaves me the Eight of Wands as it relates to the Moon and the World card. And then we will pull Sevilla's on this. I'm quite curious about this King of Cups here. So the Eight of Wands also speaks to news and messages. Let me read to you the meaning of the Eight of Wands. Okay. It indicates that there is a focus on fast-moving events and actions. It indicates that your goals are within reach. Your job now is to maintain the momentum and continue along this path to success. It asks that you remain diligent and steadfast in your attitude and demeanor. Progress towards a satisfactory conclusion of any matter at hand is indicated by the appearance of this card. The delays are over and the holdups are done with, and good things will begin to happen in your life. In regards to travel, this card tells of a journey or a trip to be made in conjunction with business or is work related. If you are waiting for a reply to a letter or phone call or even an email, you will not have to wait too much longer. And the response could contain the promise of new love. If your situation has been stagnant for some time, you may be surprised by a rapid progression towards a conclusion. It implies that if you work as a team and cooperate, quick results can be produced. It tells that you are aware of your desires and should take the initiative and then realize them. This is a most positive time to make changes. We do have this full moon coming up. It indicates that you may be faced with obstacles and hindrances on all sides. This card can sometimes suggest that you may be facing inner turmoil, struggles, and confusion. You will need to remain alert and adaptable in order to see your way through. So this could even be you, okay? Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Because now something happens, you get some news, and then you got to be like dead on it with a clear head. Able to think, precise, clear, sharp, okay? I'm going to look at him and we'll see what it's all about. It indicates lots of movement, be it traveling or even moving residence. It indicates travel, again, in connection with business. It tells of a need to reach goals that you have set for yourself. Check that they are viable and realistic so as not to disappoint yourself unduly. It indicates a time in which delays, setbacks, and obstacles are behind you at the present time, and the future looks very positive and exciting. It suggests that the time is perfect for purposeful activity and that all new undertakings will be successful. Eights in a reading are very positive and represent positive changes to come. This card asks that you follow your inner wisdom and go inwards for guidance and direction. Take stock of where you are in your life and change what no longer suits you. It asks that you take control and balance the budget. It tells that tensions and anxieties will be resolved for you. It tells you to do what you love and love what you do with the passion. Now, it doesn't tell me anything about these two cards, so it's not giving me really any information. I can tell you that the energy of the moon, water, and air is completely different from each other. This is all watery, maybe this is psychological issues. This is emotional issues. These are things that you keep secret or things that you keep inside, things that you may be fearful to express or things that may cause you fear, right? Right? Because you can always see better by the light of the sun than you can the moon. But we just had a new moon in Pisces, which was a very, very positive, kind of a really beneficial, great energies to do any new manifestation, to get clear on your emotions, not to necessarily go into fantasy mode, because Pisces, Neptune is there in Pisces in his ruling sign. And so this could be an extraordinarily dreamy time with a dreamlike quality or dreamlike state. And you do want to be careful that you're not, not seeing things as clearly as you should. That's what I'm trying to say. So, I don't know what this, I'm going to look at this moon for you. There's definitely a message coming in here. And it is about this King of Swords. The page usually comes before the swords in the Suit of Cups, but these are related. His job is to run errands for this guy. To do things for that guy, but he comes in above his placement where he sits, that lets me know that this message is about him, not from him. The moon card, there it is, the messaggere, news from far away. That can be what this card is also about. So maybe this is a timing right around the full moon, which I think is what, the 28th. The mercante, the businessman, and the conversazione. There you have it. I think this is, perhaps it is a job, a resume that you put forth about a job interview, some new kind of business project. But the messaggere kind of speeds along this. In fact, he is the Knight of Coins in this deck. So there is some kind of financial something happening with this particular spread here. The conversazione is just that. It is meetings face to face, where there are proposals being made, and this can be a marriage proposal, it can be a business proposal, or it can simply imply this guy wants to meet face to face, and the conversations will be pleasant. Any place where people gather around and sit at a table. So it could be some kind of meeting. Okay, so let's see what the King of Swords, because I think the message is about him. We also have the King of Coins there, the mercante. This guy is like Mars himself, right? God of war. So typically his profession is going to be a soldier, a police officer. He may be a dentist, a doctor, any place where sharp tools. He could even be a chef. Sharp intellect. He could be a scientist. He could be a writer, an editor, a publisher. All right. So that kind of gives you, this guy is strictly just that, a businessman. This is somebody who knows how to make money, is good at handling money, may have business ventures. So something is about to change, Cancer. Let's see what this King of Swords is all about. The riunione. Again, this is a meeting, a date. This could tell us what the guy does for a living, but this could also tell us his mindset, this unknown, because it falls under the moon. There's an unknown message from an unknown businessman about an unknown meeting that's about to take place. It's echoed on the other side. It's mirrored on the other side. The allegria. But look, it's the dispiacere. Now, some of you, this may have already occurred. Some of you, this may be happening soon. And for the rest of you, this may happen out towards the end of the month. So this is quite interesting, and I wasn't really expecting to see the dispiacere. But the la riunione can be just that, a reunion, a date, a meeting. It doesn't say what the nature of this is. It just simply means that there's, a meeting. Someone wants to meet. Maybe you will be meeting with the person. What is that? The 8, another 8 of Wands. So this tells me you're going to be traveling to have some kind of meeting with someone. The Allegria is an interesting card because the Allegria speaks to past time with family and friends, or anywhere people gather to make merriment. All right. But you want to be careful with this card because it can say that this person or these people are fair weather friends. It does imply groups. If you'll notice, there's groups of people here. See that? Okay. And lastly, we have the dispiacere. And the dispiacere says, and I don't know if the cards are trying to tell me that maybe while you are away on this meeting, remember I said this news is about him, you get some news that shocks you. The dispiacere. Let me read to you the meaning of the dispiacere. It is the Ace of Swords on the King of Swords. Okay. Let me say, I think this, whatever the news is, it comes as quite a shock. This card doesn't say that, all hope is lost or it's the worst thing you ever heard. It's just something that comes kind of like, and it shocks you to the core. It does. So here we go. The card says, it foretells of a period of difficulty and sorrow, the failure of a project, humiliation, vicious gossip, and or anger in the area inquired about. But sometimes this card can also herald violence, attacks, and arguments that become physical. Now, remember I said this guy is Mars. So what this could be telling us is that maybe this guy gets a little upset about the meeting and the merriment. But if this is a job, why would they? I don't know. You just can't tell with some people. In love, it heralds misunderstandings, disappointment, and separation, and possibly even domestic violence. In family matters, it foretells of a falling out, bitter disputes, feuds, and very sad news. This is a card that represents violence and brutality. In financial matters, it can include or indicate a dismissal, a bankruptcy, a bad investment, and or bullying at work. In legal matters, it can indicate serious problems with the law and unfair judgments. Remember I said he could be, somebody with sharp intellect is needed. That could be a lawyer. The two main areas of impact found that are represented is first the opened letter, which heralds unexpected bad news from any source. The second is the woman's reaction to the letter, as this indicates an event that will shake you to your core and will negatively affect you emotionally on a deeper level. Broadly speaking, this card can also indicate a period of inner turbulence or painful interchange and or bad karma that is demanding repayment. Let's see. That's really all it says. It just says if there are significator cards, then it says near them, then this card will invariably refer to them. So I don't know if it's these people, this meeting with these groups of people at a bar or something of that nature. You may run into the police there. So you might want to be careful about that. Okay? It's just, like I said, the energy of this card, it all looks really great, but there's something about the stance of this figure on the card. He's very stern and very cold. So if you're traveling, if you're going out, if you're going to go partying, I would suggest that you maybe make plans to get a ride home or, just be very cautious while you're out. All right. So we're going to pull one card here from the Greek mythology cards. These cards are okay. They don't have like any real meaning. It just has one word on it. And so because I am using the archetypes of the cards, I can kind of give you a little background of it. Here we go. I'm going to pull this card. That card wants to present itself. It is Cupido, desire, Eros. Now, you remember that Cupido fell in love with Psyche, right? And because his mother was Venus, his mom was so jealous of her beauty, she told Cupido to take, and I think it was, I don't know if it was her parents, but they took her off and she lived in a cave. But Eros, or Cupido, was so in love with her and her beauty that he would go and visit her at night when she slept, but he would tell her that she was that he was a monster and that she could not look upon him. Otherwise it would, I don't know, kill her or turn her to stone. I can't exactly remember. But eventually one night, he returned time and time again. And then one night, while he was sleeping, Psyche got up and her sister said, go look at your new husband, go see what he looks like. And she goes in and she creeps in and finds this beautiful Cupido sleeping and lying there. Well, they eventually fell in love, and Psyche is the only mortal in the pantheon of gods that became immortal. But the meaning behind this is desire can be quick. Okay, it could be hot, it could be heated, but it doesn't always last. You got to remember that even Cupido, how did he fall in love with Psyche? He accidentally shot himself in the leg with his own arrow. So you want to be careful about that. Okay, now let's look at, watch your desires. But at the same time, you need to be mindful of people who may desire you or the things that you have. These people can turn out to be dangerous. Okay. I'm going to see what the meaning of that says. So let me go ahead and formulate your angel answer question for your angel answer. And then I'm going to read what the little card thing says. They do give advice. It's just kind of watered down advice. Listen to your intuition. Wow. So, let me read you the desire portion and tell you what it says. Who is this? Eros? Yes. This card describes the pleasure of sexual attraction and yearning. Eros, here in the Greek mythology, was one of the first entities to be brought into being. As procreation requires the desire for lovemaking, and the world could not be populated without the hot flames of amorous lust. It seems that the matter you are considering is likely to contain an intense craving or sexual magnetism, and therefore these things could be very steamy if those involved feel so inclined. Equally, this may be time to be a little flirtatious and alluring, so that you draw whomever you desire to you. Passion is primordial driven force that is as old as the creation itself, and the card represents a feeling that has stimulated humans since time began. However, if you are not in a position to have this energy play out in a physical way at the moment, this card may still represent powerful intensity and great passion, which could be unleashed to create your heart's desire. This is Psyche, revived by Cupid's kiss. That's the name of the statue. I say it has to do with this guy, and I want you to be cautious. So listen to your intuition. Here, let me give this to you. Your intuition is completely reliable and accurate at this time. Listen to your own inner guidance, and you cannot go wrong. You can be certain that the messages you are receiving from your angels are real and trustworthy. Have faith in your feelings about the circumstances you are experiencing. Your insights into other people and their true feelings or motives are perfectly accurate. It says, your insights into other people and their true feelings or motives are perfectly accurate. There is no need to question what you already know is true. It's this guy. So again, if you're out and about somewhere, be careful. If you got to go somewhere and then come back home, there might be some issues at home if you recognize this person. So do be safe, do be careful, do be cautious. Trust your intuition. If it's telling you that something ain't right, trust that and act appropriately. So until next time, please take care of yourself and namaste.